Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan. Basically, today we are going to talk about the 61st number part, that is basically of the formula. So here basically we are going to discuss a little bit about the formula and in this basically where that is basically medical industry basically. This is the word basically medical industry. So medical industry what contains that basically everybody knows that basically medical college, medicals, industry, medical hospitals are there, doctors are there, nurses are there, and basically other medicine industries are there, pharmacies are there, and then basically many things are connected with the medicine industry. So like this basically each and every sectors basically mostly are connected with the medical industry basically we can say. So here basically we are discussing about the medical industry which is connecting with the formula word and which is directly affecting the each and every attributes of the formulas, and like this basically each and every balance sheets are also getting affected with the medical industry. So it's a basically major effect basically you can say, because medical industry is a very big industry we can say. I will take one example, then basically you can able to clear that how big industry it is this. For example, nowadays basically what happens in previous days basically the nature items or natural item basically was getting used, like for example natural vegetables were there, natural oils were there, natural petrols were there, natural each and every foods were there, each and every fruits were there. But as the time getting past, the natural item that this all basically are getting finished basically. So it's in finish mode basically you can say that also you can say. So basically stocks are getting very low, low, low and low, very low. Like this basically the world industry basically, that is basically general sector groups basically done the meeting and told that basically each and every natural items are getting finished, are getting over basically you can say the stocks are getting over. So basically what should we do basically? So the one of the industry person basically he told that we can find as an alternative as a software industry basically. So from software industry we can able to create the soft human needs basically. So from software basically you can then generate the software energies, and then basically set of variation set of cities can get creates, and then on the base of that basically we can create the human needs basically. So ultimately the cities is created on the base of set of software energies, and then basically cities are converted into human needs basically, that are basically foods, vegetables, oil, petrol, everything. So basically whenever the human is going to consume that basically, so whenever that enters into the human body, that is by default going to generate blood cells basically. So whenever the blood cells gets generated, that time basically it's not always that the blood cells get generated perfectly basically. Sometimes error also comes basically in the blood cells creation. That time basically lots of medical industry medicine is required, lots of things gets required, and like this basically doctors gets required, like this my hospital gets required. Like this basically if the process is getting very fast and many time get passed to that error basically which was getting processed inside the body, then basically it comes to many big level diseases also basically. It converts to big level disease basically, that also you can say. Like this basically medical industry is covered with each and every aspects of the formulas also basically, because for here basically medical industry has used as a formula is each and every software basically of related to medical basically, that is getting used in the medical industry. Hospitals are using the trend so software, small dispensaries are using the software, pharmacies are using the software, medical stores are using the software. So basically each and every industry basically of the medical of the group basically of the medical group are used. R&D is there, blood cells checking companies are there, the medical creation companies are there, medicine creation companies are there. Like this basically they all are using the software. So basically if the softwares are getting used, then basically by default basically it will 100% going to be added in the formula word and in the formula in the it attribute. So basically each and every balance sheet basically which is prepared on the base of attribute, and then basically formula gets calculated, so the balance sheet get the plus minus and division. Like this basically each and every things get calculated. So here basically medical industry is directly connected with the formula industry. So formula is basically this has become one industry basically you can say, because this is connected with the set of formulas, and set of formulas are connected with the set of attributes, and set of attributes are connected with the set of balance sheet basically you can say. So balance sheet, you can say that balance sheet is basically one of the industry that is basically accounting industry, which is keeping the each and every expenses of the software industry. Basically, you can say each and every income of the software industry. So each and every things are basically connected. Also, that also you can say basically. So just see basically how the connection of the medical industry has happened just now. So medical industry is also telling that we are using the software. So basically, we are also connected with you. So software industry says that if they are connected with us, basically, then by default, basically, because software basically medical industry is a very vast industry, and that also it's very old industry. So basically, whenever the old industry comes, basically, then project management plan, SDLC group, basically by default they might have added the expand each and every income and expenses of the of the softwares basically of the medical industry basically you can say. So it's a by default basically you can say, because each and every things are connected with each other. So basically here the each and every attributes contains the set of balance sheet, and that balance sheet by default contains the each and every medical industry history basically you can say. Medical industry is history means basically you can say each and everything expense, each and everything's happened out there like this. Like this, basically, city is created from the set of software companies, and then basically, then the software are by default getting converted to blood cells. So if it is getting converted to blood cells, basically, then basically each and every disease are also connected with this investment. Basically, you can say whatever is disease basically nowadays gets generates and is getting generated, that all are also connected with the software industry. Also, you can say, so whatever things are which is connected with the software industry, that basically software industry only have to solve. Basically, other industry basically will not interfere, because other industry will not understand the thing basically. For example, if you are adding if condition for loop basic, for example, for if condition everybody knows in the software industry is there, that if you want to do any if checking basically, that conditions checking is ongoing, then basically you are using the if condition. But many less people knows that if condition is also created from the 1000 2000 cities basically. For example, in this world basically there are many conditions, so each and every conditions has to be into physical location side also. So physical location side is also getting checked. So like this basically each and every so basically like this you can say that if like this it's basically creation basically. That's why basically bank investment people basically banking investment group basically banking directors basically required money basically, because there are lots of creation which has happened in the software industry. So basically it's not like that the software industry does not require money. Basically they require lots of money, because if the if condition, if else condition, for loop, while loop, that is also created on the base of 1000 cities, 1000 2000 cities. Basically, just you can imagine the expenses also of the software industry, which has already made and which has done lots long before basically. So like this, basically, for just if condition, else condition, for loop, while loop, then basically there are many conditions like this. Each and every things basically are created on the base of set of creation of cities, that are basically, if I say that for loop equal to 2000 cities, for loop creation has taken 2000 cities, then it would be 100% correct. While loop has taken 2000 cities creation, then basically it's 100% correct. If condition is also required, if else also took 2000 to 3000 cities creation. Like this basically on the base of this City creations, the if condition is created. Reason behind the each and everything is taken basically, that is each and every cities are basically has converted into, nowadays they have converted into the human needs basically. For example, if you say that this city, what basically they generate, so then basically nowadays the answer would be they are generating these human needs, that are the oil and petrols. So basically from the city energy, vegetables are created, oils are created, petrols are created, foods are created. Like this, basically each and every things are created. Basically, you can say. So that basically creation has happened like this. Basically, human takes that creation, takes their needs, that take that consumes that human needs. Like this, basically blood cells also get generates. And after blood cell generation, basically by default, so basically it's that if it is generating the blood cells, then basically each and every body does not consume, does not is the blood cells basically might not get effect to, might not get positive effect to the people. Few gets negative effect, that is basically they gets disease, and then the disease get increased, then basically big disease converts into this picture. Like this, basically there are lots of stuff basically which are connected to the medical industry also, basically we can say. So like these, basically medical industries are also connected with the formula word, formula keyword, formula attribute, and formula attribute are equal to creation created from formula equal to basically contains basically more than one balance sheet basically, and balance sheet contains each and every sectors basically which are connected with the for attributes basically. Here basically I will take an example of the attribute, that is actual cost, that is AC, earned value, that is one AC, that is one for attribute basically. So this, like this, basically each and every formulas are also connected. So this is basically you can say it's a 61th number ongoing. And after this 61th, basically we are going to discuss a little bit more about the formula keyword in 62 number formula.